Donald Trump, Greg Abbott, Ken Paxton, they said they wanted a showdown. And guess what? That's exactly what they're getting, a showdown. This is not the Democratic Party of your grandfather, right? Which would bring a pencil to a knife fight. We're bringing a knife to a knife fight. We're going to fight fire with fire. And we're going to do everything we can right now to stand up against this unconstitutional power grab by the Republicans. Make no mistake about it.
So that's the DNC chair. That's the second audio soundbite we have played in just 25 minutes where he talks about bringing knives to knife fights. I mean, I guess that's a step down from burn, loot, and murder from all cities, you know, across the nation those couple of summers in a row. Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash with you, bottom of this third hour. Joining me on this, great Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who joins us via video. Governor, I saw that you have laid down the law on this. You have ordered these Democrats that are in dereliction of duty, have abandoned their post, have abandoned voters, and they've fled to New York and Illinois, the most gerrymandered states in the union, Governor, as you're well aware, to complain about something that Texas does every 10 years. Governor, I moved down here in 2013 from Missouri, and y'all were having this argument then. Now it's finally happening because this is what states do. If they're unhappy with the results, Governor, shouldn't they just win more elections?
For one, they need to win more elections. For another, a reason why redistricting is happening the way that it is because we are ensuring that the voters in the state of Texas are going to be able to vote for their candidate of choice. And 4 of the new districts we're creating are predominantly Hispanic. It just turns out those Hispanic voters chose to vote for President Trump. Those 4 districts will ensure that those who voted for President Trump are going to be able to vote for a Republican for the United States Congress. And so Democrats are losing the state of Texas to all voters, white, black, Hispanic, and their frustration is the losing. Second, let me go back to the way that you began. You talked about a knife fight or whatever the Democrats are thinking or talking about they're doing. You cannot have a fight if you run away. They have run away. They can't reach us with a knife because they're up in Illinois, in Chicago, of all places. There's a more gerrymandered state in the country than Illinois. So what a bunch of hypocrites they are. They're not fighting. They're drowning as we speak right now because they're going to be held hostage and they're going to be criticized by the people of this state. The people of this state, they have to go to work every day. If they were to break quorum at their job and say, listen, I'm not coming into work this week, I'm going to go up to Illinois or New York, they would lose their job. These House members who are Democrats, some are going to be losing their jobs because they're not showing up to do the work of the people of the state of Texas.
That's right. They need to lose their jobs. I realize that, you know, if they're absent from their seat for so many days, there's certain things that come into play and certain things that can be done. In terms of defining what throwing the book at them over this would look like, what would that look like, Governor? What would be the absolute limit in terms of penalties that you could levy against these lawmakers?
So we've dealt with quorum breaks before, and we've never thrown as much of a book against them as we are now. Here's what we're doing. One is we have arrest warrants out for all of them. If there are some in Texas, which I understand that there may be, the Texas Department of Public Safety is searching for them. We'll find them and we'll arrest them and take them to the Texas Capitol. Those who are out of state think that they are beyond the reach of Texas law enforcement and that they may or may not be. But for one, when they come back, they're not going to go to their cozy home. They will be arrested and taken to the Capitol. But know this, it's my understanding that the FBI is going to search for these derelict Texas House members in whatever state they may be in and help identify for them and maybe work with us to bring them back. Point one. Point two is these Democrats, they have received money and benefits at their request to support them while they are gone. It is a direct violation of the Texas Constitution as well as Texas bribery laws for them to receive a benefit to skip a vote. They could be charged with second-degree felony for committing bribery in the state of Texas. Third, and it happened yesterday, I filed a petition in the Texas Supreme Court that begins the removal process of these absconding Democrat members. And the Supreme Court responded immediately last night and told the leading Democrat in this cause, his name is Gene Wu, that he has to respond to my petition by Friday, where we're going to begin the process of trying to remove these absconding Democrats from office.
This is all good to hear, because you mentioned that this is the third time they've done this in less than a decade. I think, what was it, a couple of years ago, this is the last time they fled the state, which is part of the pattern for them. We're talking to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, for those just joining. You mentioned something that's incredibly important, the demographic of these districts, because they are predominantly Hispanic districts. And one of the things that we've seen more than any other voting bloc, governors you're well aware of, those voting blocks that are going towards Republicans, Hispanic Americans are really leading the way on that, more so than Black Americans, more so than even women, college age, et cetera. It is a huge shift in this voting block. Obviously, that poses a threat to Democrats. They think that somehow by disenfranchising those voters, that's like a good way, that's good politicking.
And there are reasons for the shift that, thankfully for Republicans, the Democrats have not yet figured out. It turns out Hispanics in Texas actually do not like open borders. Hispanics in Texas don't like men playing in women's sports. They don't like transgender surgeries. They don't like all the leftist crazy ideas that the Democrats stand for. And get this, Danny, you probably have covered this. The member from the U.S. congressional delegation from Illinois who went to another country and said, I think it was Guatemala, or she was Mexico. She was more proud to be a Guatemalan than an American.
Right.
Americans and Texans are fed up with that attitude by so many Democrats, whether they support Somalia, Guatemala, whatever the case may be. They need to be supporting the United States of America, period. And if not, they shouldn't be a member of Congress. And why the Texas delegation, dealing with a congressional-based issue, is up hanging out with members of Congress who are leftists like that, that's damning for them and their future.
Yeah. I would even imagine, too, that their refusal to come back and do their jobs, I mean, this is one way to put it, because you got property tax relief that's up to special session. You have recovery for Texas Hill Country, for flood survivors. I mean, they're putting all of that in jeopardy, getting that done this session. Is that correct?
So that is correct. Dana, FYI, I am running ads in each of these districts of the missing Democrats, talking about how we need to be solving the flood-based challenges our fellow Texans are facing, but we can't do it right now because the candidate in whose district we're running the ad has left the state. And so their constituents are hearing about this as we speak right now. But as you point out, it's more than just dealing with flood victims. It's dealing with trying to cut property taxes. And there are so many issues that are so relevant to our fellow Texans. Our Texans care about those substantive issues, having their taxes cut more than the way the lines are drawn for Congress.
And the gerrymandering the accusation that they use, Governor, I was looking at these districts, and of the 5 most gerrymandered, it's silly to talk when you look at the map. People, when they see this map, they laugh out loud. They can't believe it's real. 5 of the most gerrymandered districts in the United States, the 33rd and 35th districts in Texas, Democrat run. They look ridiculous, Governor. They look like a child's drawing. That does not look like a district. I don't know how anyone can make the argument that continuing to have a district gerrymandered is gerrymandering. I just wanted to get your last thoughts on that.
So hopefully sometime you'll be able to show your audience what District 35 looks like.
Oh, it's ridiculous. We've shown it before. Throw it up, Juan.
But so here's the deal. It's very appropriately named. So this is District 35 and is drawn down the line of Interstate 35. It connects Austin and San Antonio through I-35. There could not be a better named district, but it is what the Democrats have in District 35, which is a Democrat district, is a horrible example of gerrymandering. And what we're trying to do is to fix that, to consolidate the district, make it so that the voters in that district are a whole lot closer to each other.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very sensible solution to all of this. So hopefully these Democrats, if they don't come back, Governor, you'll have law enforcement that will bring them back. Actually, I should say this is my last quick question. Can we just we can just remove them from office, can we not? I know states' laws differ. Missouri's is different from Texas, different from Oklahoma's. We have that authority, though.
So, and the authority exists is under a legal proceeding called quo warranto. My point, and I made this earlier, I began that process yesterday
That's
with a
what that-
filing that a filing I made in the Texas Supreme Court to bring the quo warranto to remove them from office. But let me just make sure that you and your audience and the Democrats know what I'm about to tell you. And that is, regardless of all these different proceedings, we know one thing for absolute fact. We're going to get these maps passed. It could be this week, could be next week, could be next month, could be in a couple of months. They are wasting their time and harming their own families and harming their constituents by failing to show up. We are going to get these maps passed. Get your tail back in the state of Texas. Do your job like every other Texan has to do their job, and stop embarrassing yourself.
There you go, right there. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he laid down the law. They can either come back or they'll come back. One way or not, they're going to come back. It can be easy or real easy. That's how it's going to be done. Governor, always a pleasure. Thank you for fighting on behalf of voters. We appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for watching The Dana Show. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and stay tuned for more content.